it's Kathy LaBella, registered dietitian, nutritionist, a certified medical exercise specialist, and personal trainer here in my new kitchen in Old Saybrook, a little different from the last kitchen I made over in Old Saybrook. And what I'm going to show you is take you through some of the appliances here, take you through some of the trends. And when I left my last house in Old Saybrook, actually 3 days before I moved out, I did a really quick tour of all of the appliances and my plans for the next kitchen. And I never showed it. I never finished it. The reason is, since I have moved and I had to have 7 temporary moves in between the 2 houses, it has been nothing but one, almost an emergency type of thing after another. So I haven't been doing regular videos. So basically the whole house has been gutted. I'm still working on some sections and with contractors in and out and working and contracts and all of that. It's been quite busy. So what I'm gonna do is, I looked over the last video and I was like, wow, it's amazing how some things stay and some trends change. So the last video I did was on the 27th of March, 2021. And comparing it to what I thought I was going to do, it's a little bit different, but some things are much better. So I'll take you through, talk about the kitchen and some upcoming trends, and I'll show you what I did with my old kitchen, the kitchen that came out of where I'm in now. As I did in my last kitchen, I went with Thermador again, only last time I had the Masterpiece series, which is more contemporary, that you'll see. And this time I went with the Professional series, the big knobs on there. But don't let those knobs fool you. They have all kinds of settings, plus there's still the electronics there that also do a lot of settings too. So whether you want true convection, convection bake, to a pizza setting. For those who need the Sabbath, they have the Sabbath settings on the ovens. So this here is the triple oven. I'll show you a close-up. And the top section is a speed oven. So it doubles as a microwave, but you can still broil in it if you choose to. You can still bake in it, and it's still a convection oven too, with all the different settings. And then this oven here, just like my last one, it has the triple rack and it has the rotisserie with it. And just like the last one, everything is, the supporting telescopic racks. So you're never going to drop something on it. And as far as the third section, which I will show you. So the bottom drawer, the third oven here, it is a warming drawer, but it has multiple settings. So you can still go high, low, medium. The difference is with the Masterpiece, it had push buttons for 4 settings and it had the proofing for the dough, but I really don't need it because the major oven has all of the proofing. So you can kind of get an idea as to what is here. And by the way, I am not sponsored by Thermador. I just happen to like it. And this is kind of neat. Some people may not like the noise, but I think it's kind of cool. You can turn that noise down, but I kind of like it, the way it goes off. So that is the triple oven there. I went with the Thermador dishwasher again, and I mentioned in the last video that when you purchase a Thermador oven and stove or 2 different products, you get a free dishwasher. The last time I upgraded, and this time I went with just the basic dishwasher, but it's still all stainless. It still has all, the top rack, and the hidden settings, of course, and it's still really quiet. Went with the same stovetop, and of course a lot of talk today with the benzene. in the propane, in the gas. This is propane, but they do make the induction stovetops too, so that is available. This is my favorite, absolute favorite. It has so many different settings on there. This is the cappuccino. It has latte macchiato, the latte, milk froth, so on down the line that you can see. It has a lot of different options here. And basically this is plumbed, so everything is behind here. And I put it has a special milk container that hooks up here. For the steaming, you do have to empty the tray where the water flows into. But basically it just takes the full beans and you are set to go. And it's all on automatic, anything that needs to be done. Do you need a new filter? Do you need to descale? Do you need to clean it? All of that. And in my last video, I stated that Thermador at the time did not make a French door refrigerator. Now they have multiple models. So I didn't have to go with the Bosch and put the Thermador handles on. They have multiple models. And so that's what I went with. And it has the water on the inside. So I'll take you through a little bit more. Just to show you around quickly. This was completely closed up. It was walled off right where the island is. There were a little opening where the refrigerator was and a little tiny opening where the oven is, and the rest was walled off. It was so closed in. So one of the other little trends too, it's not really a trend, but it just makes it finer, is the paneled sides, which are very nice to have. And if you have a real little kitchen, or you're going into a real little kitchen like what I have, is making sure that if you have an island, to have the space there with all the drawers. More storage. One of my favorite little spots is under the island, where I store both dishes and a lot of cookbooks. And the only thing I don't like is that outlet right there. It's really bothering me that it's not gray. So I'll have to get a plate to cover it, something. And it's a tiny, tiny little dining area, but at least it's a dining area. And I do have the, built-in bar or hutch, whatever you want to call it, which is very popular today. And the only thing that I would have done different, actually I asked for it. In my last house, the counter was an overhang with drawers underneath, and I really miss that. But it works, it works. And if you see a window air conditioner, I live in a flood zone, and so you can only put so much money into a house at the time. So I never did my window over there. And so that will come in time. I had all Anderson windows put in up front, and then the Geldwen doors out back that are the French doors that open up fully, which is really nice to have. And I just have to get the screens, the retractable screens, and then I can have a fully open, like an open living room type of thing. So another trend is, see the black windows. I did not do interior black windows in the rest of my house. Actually, this window still needs painting on the inside, but I did not go with the black on the inside. I felt that was a little too trendy. I did go with black on the outside because I have a white house. Went with the same sink, the Blanco, as you saw in the last video. And then the vault. When you have a small place, it was really, really important for me to vault this place, to have that, just that openness, so I don't feel like I'm in a little tiny, tiny room. And then the living room, of course, I opened up to everywhere else, since this is a tiny space. And then I tiled this myself. I don't have my pilot on right now, so I can't turn it on. But it is a propane insert in there that is absolutely lovely to have. As for trends, so one of the biggest trends today is grige, and grige is between the gray and the beige. Off-white cabinets also. White will always be in, but they are getting away from it a little to go more, a little bit more neutral. White oak and walnut are very popular, and they're mixing it all together. They're mixing the grays with the white oak. So you may see an island that is in oak and the cabinets are going to be gray, or they are going to be white, or that greige. Marble will always be traditional, which is what I went again with the traditional marble. But of course, quartz is more popular. A lot of people are getting away from the granite. And backsplashes, glazed. White, again, will always be in. I like traditional, and that's why I went with the white again. However, a lot of the plain glazed, no pattern, that type of thing. And as far as appliances, smart appliances, which I have all, it's all app driven. I never really use it. I'm here to turn it on, but it is there if you want it. My coffee maker, if you have Alexa, it will take the commands from Alexa as well. So the smart appliances. I mentioned in the last video some of the appliances. I don't talk about appliances that I have never had. I'm not a salesperson in the appliance. However, I did mention that for a lower end, less expensive, they still do make like the Thermador Professional, which is very nice. But do check out, and I mentioned this before, do check out the Thermador and the Viking, because when you buy 2 appliances, you get another one free, and it's usually a free dishwasher. So their dishwashers start at $1,500. And usually if you want, what I had the last time was the $1,800 one. Of course, it's probably a lot more now, and I only paid $200 for it. Since I bought the whole Thermador kitchen, except for the fan, I didn't go with one of their fans. I went with a Braun just for cost budget purposes, but and I wanted my coffee maker, so I did get the coffee maker half price because I bought all the other appliances. So do check those out. You'd be surprised how affordable some things can be. As for other trends, hiding away things, pantries, and books, as I have all my books under the cabinets now. Walk-in pantries are big right now too, like the butler's pantries. A lot of people are using an extra space or a big extra closet to open up if you have the room. Built-in hutches, not your old grandma's hutch, okay? Kind of like how I have my bar area. Those are very popular. And putting away things behind the doors, whether it's your big mixer, anything that's big so you can hide behind it. They also have the hidden pantries. So it looks like a refrigerator door, but it's not. You open it and you walk through another area. The panels are really big on appliances right now. And I didn't go with it. I actually like, the look of everything. And the only thing I could have really paneled was my dishwasher, the refrigerator. But at that time, when I put this together 2 years ago, panels were out. They've always been around, but now they're getting more popular. So that's one of the things to look for. But opening it up, still keeping your kitchen open, not hidden behind all the walls. And if it's a small kitchen, you can always do what I did, which is vaulting it. And that really opens up the space a lot. Let's see what else is out there for 2023 trends. Gray, of course, is still in, and blues. Blue cabinets are like a blue-gray. Black and white is always classic. So black and white will always be in. I remember back in 1995 when I did a kitchen, it was black counters and white cabinets, and guarantee that's still stylish today. Probably needed appliances changed out, but keeping, basics so you don't have to redo everything. And I mentioned in the last video, you can always change your handles, change a faucet, things like that. change hardware if it change, you know, if color trends go out. It was funny, I was reading how one article, it was saying that brass is no longer in, and that's not true. As you can see, these are new handles, they're more brass, but the shiny brass is not, you know, the trend like the old, I don't know, 80s, 90s, even in 2000, I think they were still doing that, those shiny brass skinny handles. So that's not in, but actually today they're mixing metals. So they're mixing the black, they're mixing the nickel, and they're mixing the brass all together. I'm not too crazy about that, but when we think about it, I mix the brass with my stainless appliances, and it works because I brought the brass in with lighting, so it all works, and I have the brass tones throughout the whole space. But I always, you know, say, put your color in the inexpensive things. So I am going to show you what I did with my old kitchen. So in my 2021 video, seeing here in the old kitchen, I mentioned that in my present kitchen, I was going to remove the cabinets and put them into my office for a wet bar. And my plan was to paint them black and have this nice big wet bar. Well, it all depends on where your water supply is and drain. So that was going to be very difficult to do. But what I did do was I was able to split it up. So I was able to put just a little section without water supply into my office that I painted gray. And then some people may have already seen, I did a little video or maybe a couple of pictures of what I'm doing in another end of my lower level, which is the boiler room, and I'm dividing it. And so I have a whole wet bar that is also a garden bar in there. So I'll show you quickly how that's coming along, and I'll do a separate video on the finalization, whenever that is going to be. So this is the space that I've been redoing and taking a lot of old things that I've had from the chairs over there and redid the cushions. And these are the old kitchen cabinets. So I didn't put I wanted it more open, so I didn't put the cabinet doors back on. And I have shelves going in up top. Where the dishwasher was in the old kitchen is where the wine cooler is, but I literally had to really do a job on these cabinets to clean them up and to put the new handles on, and the side panels too. So I actually have, you can't really make it out well there, but I do have the side panels that I had left over from my kitchen upstairs that I just redid. So all I did was spray painted them black. And then there was a little overhang here, so I just put a little table with some baskets under there. What I'm doing on the wall is I have shelves, and I reused a lot from the house. So these right here, this is a small shelf, and then I have really wide ones too. There's actually one right there. And so I have 3 large and 3 smaller ones that will be going up, and using these, actually these are the shelf brackets right here. So they're like a hidden bracket. So it almost looks like a floating shelf. So those will be going up. And what I did was I actually saved, for those who knew me back in the day when I lived in Essex, and Essex being very old world and whatnot, I still have a lot of stuff here that will be going in here that I wanted to reuse. So just because some things are outdated, I wanted an old world kind of wine bar. And so I'm utilizing everything that I had in the past. And just as I did in my past kitchens, that's a piece of granite that was cut out from the sink. So therefore, you know, not wasting granite. And I didn't do a little sink. I actually did a nice large sink in here, so that way I can use it for gardening. So I'll show you the other cabinet quick as to what I'm doing in the office. So in addition to reusing the cabinet here, I also took the old island that I put into my, I guess, workshop area is what you would call it, just a tool room. This is the old kitchen island that I redid and put it into my workshop area because there is no reason to throw this out. It was in excellent condition. All I had to do was clean it up, put on new handles. I didn't like the Formica, so I painted it with Beyond Paint. And the only thing I would not do again if I did a Beyond Paint is put those flecks on because it really makes it look a little outdated, I think anyway. But why I did save it is because the drawers are really good and they're all the rollouts. So there was no reason to throw this away. And the last cabinet that I am working on is in my office. This is still a work in progress in here. But again, there was no reason to throw this out. The drawers, everything was really clean. I just have to put some paper down in there. And again, it had all the rollouts, so there was no reason to throw this out. So I'm not only using it for the office, but it leads out to my swim spa, so it will keep all of my supplies in there. The side panels, as I did on the wet bar, I took them from leftover material from the new kitchen that I had done and painted them. Here I have more side panels that I have to paint because I have upper cabinets going up there. So it will be just a nice little piece of furniture in the office once I get finished with it. So I hope this was informative. I plan on getting back in the game and doing more videos, doing more YouTube. So hit the subscribe button, hit like, and I can also be found at Kathy LaBella rdn.com or peakperformancerd.com. Thank you, everyone.